You handsome boy. Drag has been closely supervising everything that I've been doing. I just wanted to show you that while, yes, of course, it's always best to go out and buy the $100 or $200 gate, there are ways to cut corners if you need to. It's not a financial need. It's just that I don't have time to go and get an actual gate. So we're going to work with what we've got. And what we've got is this 6 or 7 foot piece of cattle panel. Our temporary fence right now is sheep and goat woven wire with 4x4 squares so that they can't stick their heads through it and get stuck, which they will do even if they don't have horns. We have a post here, but it's not quite far enough over. I just cut the 4x4s right before the next line, and that left these 4-inch tabs. I just wrapped them around the fence itself and the cattle panel twice. Hi, Aaliyah. Hi, beautiful girl. You're so sweet. And I did it all the way down. And then on this side, all that you need is 2 carabiners to hold it together. And I wanted it to overlap this so that the goats couldn't push the gate through. If you undo the carabiners, you will see the gate swings open just fine using the actual fencing as the hinge. You don't need fancy hinges. 2 carabiners hold it together so that the goats don't get out. Just fencing for the hinge. So that's about a third of cattle panels, about $30 now, so that's about 10 feet of cattle panel. $0 for the hinge, $2 for the carabiners. You've got a gate. Stay tuned. I'm building green pens. This is going to be one. I might divide it to make it 2. This is how to make a pen cheaply. I'm using this goat panel, 4x4 squares. I don't want them sticking their heads through to bother each other. But on this end, there won't be any goats out here. Using the cattle panel, which is less expensive, is fine for this part because nobody's going to be challenging it. You never know when you're going to take things apart, change things around. All that I do is take a piece of fencing wire and wrap it around the seams to make little connections. But one thing they have to keep in mind with goats is that they are notorious for putting their feet up on the fence and leaning their head over. And one thing they have to worry about always, that middle connection, because they will put their feet up on here, bow it out, and they will get a hoof stuck in there. And if they get scared enough, they will actually damage themselves quite significantly. Always put at least one connection in the middle to make it so that they can't do that. It's something that you sometimes learn the hard way. I've seen enough close calls that I don't need to wait until they actually damage themselves. I am trying to make a gate. I had this one section of fencing that goes from there to here, and I put it so that the middle of it was right on this fence post, and I attached this piece of fencing to the other piece of fencing and to the T-post. What I'm going to do over here is leave one square to hold onto the T-post and then go to the end of the next square and cut on the inside one all the way down. And I did that here, and then I took those extra pieces and just flipped them around, and that makes a good secure connection here. That holds up this extra piece that will then overlap with that one. So I can swing this closed and just hook up the 2 pieces of fencing anywhere that I want to along these lines. Gonna do the same thing here. I'm going to cut it along here. This piece, it's gonna overlap by 4 squares. It'll swing in, or it'll come back and I'll attach it to this fence to close it, swing it in to open it. It's a super cheap gate. It works. It contains the goats temporarily. I would not trust this for a permanent situation, but for a temporary situation, it actually works really well. I'll probably take a video at some point actually having it in use with goats. That's all you gotta do. Join us on Twitch to see the goats live.